I see more and more posts about game-like drills talking about using cones. I have yet to see a game played where there's cones on the court. I just from a logic standpoint, I don't understand how running around a cone became a game-like drill. Again, to call something game-like means that it needs to have the same constraints that are there during a game. That means that if you're practicing shooting, for instance, the constraints that are there when you're shooting in a game include the decision to shoot, determining whether or not you are open to shoot, de- uh, deciding your relationship with your defensive player, getting open, the movement that it takes to get yourself open, receiving the pass, the eye contact with or body language that you share with a teammate to allow your teammate to know that you are open and where you want the ball, an appreciation for the time and score of the game, a knowledge of time on the shot clock, an understanding of where you are within your team's possession and with your coach's system. All of these things affect, whether or not you shoot the ball in the game. That is what makes a game shot a game shot. It's not how fast you run or how many cones you can run around or what direction you're running, or what type of movement, whether you're, curling or fading or, whatever basketball specific terminology you want to use. All of these things are part of making a shot game like. But a game shot involves a lot of other factors that are determined by the opponent, teammates, and etc. And so if you're a coach passing to a player with nobody else in the gym, it's not a game-like shot. I don't care what you do. There's no way to make that shot game-like when you're in a gym by yourself. You can flash your hands up, you can yell, whatever method you want to do to try to approach some of the constraints that are there in the game or to mimic some of the same constraints, but it's never going to be game-like. Okay, a game-like shot requires, at minimum, as my friend Harry Mananen says, at minimum, a teammate or a passing option and a defensive player. Because you have to decide on the catch, are you shooting or are you driving or are you passing? And what is the relationship between you and a defensive player? If that decision isn't there, if the coach is saying, here, we're going to do 5 shots from this spot, that's not a game-like drill, regardless of whether or not that shot is from a spot on the court where you might shoot during a game. Okay, and so to run around a cone, to shoot from a specific spot, I just think we have such little understanding of what a game actually is. And we can't isolate the skills away and say that we're practicing a game-like drill just because we're shooting from a spot or we're running really fast. That's not what game-like is. Game-like must have the task constraints that are present in the game, and those at minimum include a defensive player and a teammate or a passing option. Without those at minimum, without the decision of whether or not to shoot, trying to decide whether I'm open or whether my teammate's more open, the relationship with a defensive player, without that decision, it's not a game-like shot. And there's, I continue to see this, one-on-0 practice, we're doing game-like drills, and you might do some things that are used in games, but it's not representative of what actually happens in a game.